having the queer conversation and sexual identity conversation, within being a Gen Zer just felt inherent to the fabric of like that time in our lives and coming of age. But I hadn't seen it approached sort of in this way before. And I think coming out stories are really important, but I thought approaching it as sort of like Elliot was already very sure of who she was and accepted by her family and her peers, and then was sort of blindsided by this, I don't want to say like reverse sort of, but just kind of the label shift. And after, talking to a lot of people in the community, it felt like a shared experience for many people that they hadn't also seen represented on camera in this way. Weirdly with this one, the title was the North Star for me. I remember I just was like, my old ass, and I was like, hi, and then for some reason I was like, for sure someone's gonna make me change the title at some point in the process. Like, there's no way a lawyer is gonna be like, here's your contract for the movie called My Old Ass. Like, that's just never gonna happen.
We had a lot of emails that got routed to spam that we had to like.
No, you literally told me, you were like, I'm making this the title so I can hear all the execs say my old ass constantly.
It is funny, I think.
It is.
But so yeah,
you had the title
the title became a North Star for like the tone of the movie in my head. Like when I would start to like go off course, you'd be like, don't forget, the movie's called My Old Ass. And that for some reason would just help my brain figure it out.
Yeah, and I feel like I think the other North Star for us, it's like we were always talking about nostalgia and even like the feeling of the movies that like we grew up on that we wanted to sort of capture that feel like they don't get made as much anymore. I feel like that was also something that together we talked about a lot.
Major kind of inspo for like just kind of making one of those My Girl, Now and Then, The Sandlot,
Camp Nowhere.
Camp Nowhere. Like One Indian Summer or whatever.
Yeah.
That was one, because that took place basically in the same spot. We wanted to have Muskoka, the location itself, play a really big character in this film because, I mean, this is where she's grounded. This is her family's, this is where she's leaving. Everything kind of had to do with setting, right? So it was very important to maintain and be able to see everything and bring the location into scenes. For instance, you'll notice that I did not shoot very shallow. And that's on purpose because, I mean, sometimes you're like, oh my God, that almost looks green screen, but it's not. But you always want to be surrounded by the environment. Even when there are scenes in her bedroom and she's looking out, trying to pull the environment in. And so I think that kind of really honoring the location itself was part of that.
Is there a focus on female filmmakers?
Yeah, I think all of our projects, it's sort of, our mantra is a little bit like female stories, female storytellers, and I think it's important to us that anything we're a part of has one of those elements, but I would say more than anything, we're super filmmaker driven. And I think that, we've been really lucky with the people that we've worked with. And I remember Megan and I met because K2 and I went to school here, but a year apart, and there were producing fellows that were doing the music videos that they were doing together, and then I came to be Megan's assistant. I think for us, it's we're always just trying to find a new approach to something that feels really honest and authentic and fresh. And to us, that usually starts with the filmmaking voice and someone like Megan who is so good at sort of reading the culture and sort of being, treating, I think sometimes you read stuff or you see things that are about these Gen Z characters, it feels like an adult writing that voice, and Megan is so good at collaborating with the actors of the opposite of your experience in Secret Life, I guess, of would you say it this way, or would you guys ever talk about this? And so I think we really just sort of followed her lead, and I was so lucky that she's as insightful as she is.